What's going on, guys? And today we're going to be doing our top 10 teams in the NFL for week 9. And really, really weird week. I think that there's only like 3 teams that are actually really good. But let's just jump right into it. Coming in at number 10, we have the New York Jets. And I think that the New York Jets still deserve a spot on this list. I think that overall they're better than the Patriots, even though they just lost to the Patriots. I think that their season is probably going to be pretty over, though, now that Breece Hall is hurt. And I think if Breece Hall was still on the team and not injured, then they would be very good and would have been able to beat the Patriots. But Zach Wilson threw 3 interceptions and looked pretty bad. James Robinson looked mediocre at best. And that defense looked pretty good, but had a little bit of errors. I think the Jets are going to have a bounce back team, or a bounce back win later on this. They're playing the Bills, so I don't know if they'll win this week, but maybe over the next couple weeks they'll have a bounce back win. And I think for right now they deserve to be at number 10. Moving on to number 9, we have the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens just made a huge blockbuster trade. The trade for Roquan Smith, the linebacker from the Bears, and they look like that defense could be very scary. They have Tyus Bowser there too, Patrick Queen as well, and I think that they could be pretty crazy. Lamar Jackson, though, played really, really well on Thursday night against the Buccaneers, and I think that he's still going to be a very good quarterback, and he's going to be looking for all of the money at the end of the year. I think that overall this team looks like it could be a very good team, and they can make a very deep playoff run. But I think for right now, I'm only going to be able to keep them at number 9 just because I haven't really seen a convincing win, and their defense still gives up a lot of mistakes. So I think that overall, if they fix those mistakes, then the Ravens could move up. Moving on to number 8, this team dropped a couple of spots from last week's ranking. I have the New York Giants. I think that this team is one of the best teams in the league still. Daniel Jones is still playing really, really good, but they are having some issues. They had 2 special teams errors in last week's game against the Seahawks, and they ended up losing to the Seahawks. I think that overall the Giants could be one of the better teams in the league if they don't have these blunders. But for right now, I have to have them lower. Daniel Jones played really good. Saquon Barkley played really good. They did trade away Kadarius Toney, and I'm excited to see him play on a team that we'll talk about later. But for right now, I have the Giants at number 8. Moving on to number 7, we have the Miami Dolphins. This team just made a bunch of huge moves today. They traded for Bradley Chubb from the Broncos. They traded away Chase Edmonds too. They also got Jeff Wilson from the 49ers. And I think that overall this team could be one of the better teams in the NFL. They're easily the best wide receiver duo in the league right now, and I think that with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle being as fast as they are and as amazing as they are, I think that they will easily fix their season. They could even give the Bills some competition. Moving on to number 6, we have the Seattle Seahawks. They did just beat the New York Giants, who were 6-1 originally, and now the Seattle Seahawks are 4-3 and doing a lot better, or they're 5-3. Either way, this team is doing really good. They're absolutely killing it. Geno Smith is playing at an MVP-like level, and overall, DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are also playing really good. Kenneth Walker's looking like one of the steals of the draft and easily could be Offensive Rookie of the Year this season. And I'm just really excited to see what happens. Their defense leaves a little bit to be desired. I would like them to play a little bit better, but their run defense did play very, very good against the Giants' very good rushing team. And I think that overall, even though the Seahawks are shocking people, I think that they're still not best team or one of the best teams in the league. I think that they're still a very good team, and they're easily going to be winning that division probably because the Rams look really bad, the 49ers look really bad, and the Cardinals are the Cardinals. I don't even know what to say about the Cardinals, but that's going to be all I got for the Seahawks. Moving on to number 5, we have probably a team that actually showed up and looks really good, but we have the Dallas Cowboys. This team is one of the best teams in the league. They've won the best offenses in the league, and their offense was carried this weekend by Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard had a killer 3-touchdown game and was doing absolutely amazing. Absolutely ran all over the Bears defense, and I can't wait to see where else this goes. It still ended up losing the trade deadline, though, because everyone was giving away a lot higher draft picks for certain players than they got for Amari Cooper, so that's embarrassing for them. Yeah, overall, I think that the Cowboys are one of the best teams. I think they're still going to be below the Eagles, but for right now, I have them at number 5. Moving on to number 4, we have the Minnesota Vikings. They beat the Cardinals, who looked really bad. Like, yeah, they just looked whack. The Vikings, though, did almost allow a comeback and then stopped it. They don't really have very much looking forward. But I think that they could be decent. They're playing against a tough Commanders defense this weekend, and I think that they're not going to lose, but they could easily have a slip here. And I think overall the Vikings are going to be one of the best teams in the league, at least for a little bit while. Coming in at number 3, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. This team just came off of a bye week last week, and they just got Kadarius Toney before the trade deadline, and I think that giving them a player that is kind of similar to Tyreek Hill is going to make this team shoot up in the rankings. But as long as they have Patrick Mahomes, I think that this team is going to be a top 10 team or even a top 5 team. And yeah, they didn't really do much for the trading other than Kadarius Toney, and there's not really much to discuss with them because they were on a bye. But yeah, the Chiefs for right now come in at number 3 for me. Coming in at number 2, I have the Philadelphia Eagles, and I know people are going to be shocked and probably say that I'm bitter because the Eagles just beat the Steelers. Yes, that is exactly why I lowered the Eagles. But I think that the team that I have at number 1 just beat a better defense, even though it wasn't as much of a blowout. That's why I have them, the Eagles at number 2 compared to the team I have at number 1. And overall, I think that the Eagles are very, very good. I think they're easily going to be favorites for the Super Bowl right now from the NFC. I think they're one of the best teams. A.J. Brown, no wonder he keeps getting drug tested because he destroyed the Steelers' secondary. Yeah, Miles Sanders looked awesome. That defense looked awesome. Got to Kenny Pickett 5 times. And this pains me that they have to be at number 2. But yeah, I think that overall, the Eagles are one of the best teams in the league and are shocking people this season. But coming in at number 1, I think that it's obvious who it is because the Eagles were at 2. I have the Buffalo Bills. I think the Packers' defense is better than the Steelers' defense this season. I think that the Bills torched the Packers' defense, and that means that the Bills deserve a number 1 spot. Josh Allen has to be your favorite for Super Bowl or for NFL MVP right now, and if he's not, then you're just insane. Yeah, they just made a huge trade to get Nyheim Hines, and they traded Zach Moss away. So I think overall the Bills are going to be one of the best teams in the league and easily could be the AFC favorite. But reviewing the top 10, we have number 1 the Bills, number 2 the Eagles, number 3 the Chiefs, number 4 the Vikings, number 5 the Cowboys, number 6 the Seahawks, number 7 the Dolphins, number 8 the Giants, number 9 the Ravens, and number 10 the Jets. But that's going to be all I got for today's video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and take it easy.